Now, let's say I identify that the whole business of trying to manage people's impression, worrying about what do you think of me, and trying to get you to think of me in right ways. I become aware of that. I realize it's a trap and a snare, and it brings me little bursts of gratification if I get good at trying to do it. I remember reading in John Wesley's journals, and he would write about going to places to preach because he was trying to bring new life to the church. And one of his gauges was, if they told him that they didn't want him to come back, he would assume he had done a good job.
No, see, that's the Pauline idea of all of this. You may remember that the rap on Paul, which he quoted with some sense of humor in 2 Corinthians 10:10, was that his letters were really substantial. In person, he wasn't much, and his speech was despicable. Now you imagine going on the circuit with that.
That description. They don't put
but
that
he
in
was
it.
happy to do it because he knew that when something good came, it was Christ in him.
And that attitude isn't just something that I'm supposed to have. There's actually freedom and joy and release in it. And then I don't have to live as a slave to.
Absolutely.
How do you think I'm doing?
Yes, absolutely
and
right.
To be able to let
or
go
how do
of,
I think I'm doing?
I remember when you spoke at our church one time and you had finished and we were walking out to the car and you were just singing this old hymn and that obsessive thought that tends to haunt most people. How did I do? How did people think I do? How will I get rated? It was like watching a little kid let go of a helium balloon. There was just this freedom.
You know.
But here's the question. I see that freedom. I want that. How do I move towards that? Because I can't just do it by an act of the will. I can't simply say, well, I don't want to worry about what people are thinking of me. I don't want to do impression management anymore. I can't stop it in the same way that I can just answer a phone.
No,
so
but it's like breaking any habit.
Yeah.
And you have to replace that habit of thinking about that with something else. And I think that what we have to do, what I do, I will frankly tell you, is I have concentrated on how utterly ridiculous it is of me to be thinking about that. You know.
So will you spend time thinking about the ridiculousness of it?
Well, when this issue approaches me, of how did I do, I often remind myself of the little story in Aesop's fable about the fly that's sitting on the axle of a chariot that's charging across the plain, and the huge cloud of dust back of it, and the fly is saying, "Why, what a cloud of dust I raise." and actually, I do find that laughing at the devil is one of the best ways of dealing with him. Now, older saints like Martin Luther and even St. Francis became quite scatological when they addressed the devil. But somehow I'm not into that, so it's better to laugh at him. And to see how ridiculous it is of me to be thinking about that. Especially since I know that the things to be accomplished, I don't even know. God knows. That's his business. And for me to be thinking in terms of that is laughable. So we have to break the habit. I know, because I know when I started to speaking as a young green man, vanity was a terrible problem for me. And the Lord helped me with some teachings as I went along.
Was it seriously? Because I don't think of you in that way. I don't picture that being one of the things that you wrestle with.
Well, I'd like to think I'm not in a struggle with it now. It occurs to me, and my habit is to dismiss it sometimes by thinking about how ridiculous it is. But when I was younger, I had a real struggle with vanity, and vanity was one of the things I had to learn to deal with. And Thomas à Kempis helped me a lot on that. And I think I mentioned earlier his saying that if people say you're good, it doesn't mean you are. And if they say you're bad, it doesn't change a thing. You are what you are. God knows what you are. That's almost literally.
And that comes back to the whole divine conspiracy. God knows what you are.
That's right.
But your life is hidden with Christ in God.
That's right.